Hello. My name is Alfred C. Machona. On December 23rd, my wife, Fortunate, and I left the capital, Harare, to spend Christmas with our family in another town. As we drove, we saw many people standing along the road, arms raised in hope of flagging down the ride. We recognized a woman beside the road and stopped to give her a lift. As she got into the car, a man and a woman begged us to take them too. We didn't know them, but we saw their worried faces and agreed. The 3 passengers got into the back of the car, and the 5 of us hit the road. Suddenly everything went black. The next thing I knew, my seatbelt seemed very, very tight. I couldn't move. Everything was dark. I heard some sounds, faint voices from a distance. I realized that something terrible had happened. I felt the car being shaken. The next thing I heard was the wail of the siren of an ambulance or a police car. Moments later, I felt myself being lifted out of the car and carried to an ambulance. A nurse asked me whom she should call. I gave her the names of 2 people to call, a pastor and a church elder. At the hospital, the pastor wasted no words and he said, "We're going to take you to the hospital back in Harare." He asked the nurse about my wife, and we learned that a pickup truck driving behind us had taken her and 2 of our passengers to another hospital. She was suffering serious internal bleeding. The pastor asked that she be brought to my hospital. Over the next 2 days, on December 24th and 25, Fortunate and I each underwent 3 operations. My wife had a life-threatening injury caused by her seatbelt rupturing her small intestine. Her left palm and left foot also were badly injured, and doctors inserted metal pins. With me, doctors inserted metal plates in my left forearm and metal pins in my right leg. He later showed me an X-ray of my vertebra. "You could take this to any doctor in the world, and he will tell you what I am telling you right now. You are a dead man," he said. "This X-ray tells us that you are dead or paralyzed from the shoulders down." About 2 weeks later, Fortunate and I were released to go home for intensive physical therapy. We spent the next 6 weeks relearning how to walk. For the first time we heard that 5 people had died in the accident. The other car was driven by a young man who was drunk and speeding. Later we saw the 2 badly mangled vehicles. The cars were identical, both red Honda Fits. My speedometer was stopped at 55 miles per hour, while his was stopped at 105 miles per hour. Our female friend in the backseat died on the spot, while the 2 strangers whom we had offered a ride died of their injuries the next day. The vehicle that hit us had 3 occupants. 2 of them, the drunk driver and an elderly woman seated beside him in the front, had died instantly. The man in the back was taken to the hospital, and we don't know to this day whether he survived. The news left Fortunate and me shocked. God had spared our lives in an incredible way.